Well, hello, and welcome to Through the Wilderness. My name is Kevin Wilson, and you are at the Moriah Center. The Moriah Center is just an educational platform to help those who are seeking a little bit more out of life. And this particular course is called Through the Wilderness. And this is just a short introduction video just to share with you what to expect from this course. Should you decide to join us in it, we will go into some in-depth study. But I want to share with you this. This course is unlike any other course you've taken. Now, I know that's a big claim, and I'm not saying that to impress you, but I want to say that to impress upon you that this course is different, because my goal is not to teach you what to think, but my goal is to teach you how to think. You see, in my journey through my wilderness, I have observed that there's two different types of learning, if you will. The first type is like learning a skill. People want to learn to become accountants or electricians, doctors, lawyers, carpenters, mechanics. Take your pick. Any type of how-to skill. That's one type of learning, and we need those things. I'm not setting that aside as something that we don't need. We have to have those. Trust me, we need mechanics, we need car mechanics, we need computer engineers. We need those types of things, people to be those types of things in our life. That's great. That's a skill set. People need to learn to sew, to be doctors, any other profession. You get my drift. And there's absolutely hundreds and hundreds of video courses out there to teach you everything. I've learned a lot about gardening this year. But see, what sets this course apart from those how-to videos is that, again, I want to share with you how to think. And this type involves a much different approach. Now, you've heard it said that, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Okay, well, we have to do both. In this video, in this course, I'm giving you the fish so that you can learn how to fish for yourself. Okay? So the goal of this course is not to teach you what to think, but more importantly, how to recognize different things that are going on in your life, how to recognize truth that we are being trained not to think. When we go to college, when we go to school, when we go to get a job, when we go to those things, we're being told what to think, what to do, when to do it, how to do it. We are getting more and more into that mindset. Okay? So recognize that we do need those types of skills. We also must recognize that we're being trained not to think. Independent thought and disagreement, you can agree within our media. If we don't agree with what the people say, then we are less than. We are outcast. We are... Take your pick. Who knows where this is going? We're watching this unfold right now. But we see that in our media. We also see it in our school system, in our elementary schools. I have a 14-year-old, and he is taught, the 7 habits of highly successful people, or the 8 habits of effective people. And there's nothing wrong with those in a sense, but they're not being taught how to apply those. They're not being taught that one habit of successful people is examining the truth or observation. All of those things lead to getting a good job. And there's nothing wrong with having a good job. But again, do you want to be just a drone that does that job? Or do you want to be able to understand how to think? Okay, so we definitely see that playing out in our media, in our school system, and even in our churches and places of worship. So as you can see in this video, I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm going to be coming to you from a biblical Christian perspective, not a religious perspective, and there's a difference. And we'll learn that not in this episode, or not in this course, but in another course in the future. And I'll just give you a hint. There's actually 3 different viewpoints you need to look from. You need to look at a secular worldview. What does the world say about a particular topic? Or a religious worldview. What do the religious scholars say about a particular topic? And then what does the actual Bible say about a particular topic? And when you examine those three issues in light of themselves, by putting them together, you can begin to pick apart in society what's going on. And that's what I mean by teaching you how to think. Okay? And this is very prevalent even in our churches. Let me give you an example outside of the church. Today, people, like I said, will learn a trade. We'll learn a school, we'll learn a mechanic, how to be a mechanic, how to be different things. So, and that's all great. We need those types of things. We need people to build houses and ships and boats and cars. Take a car, for example. You can go learn how to be a mechanic. Okay? But who taught Henry Ford how to build a combustion engine? Nobody. He learned it on his own. Who taught Alexander Graham Bell to invent the telephone or the telegraph? Who taught Tesla or Edison how to invent two different versions of the light bulbs that are out there? Who taught Tesla his inventions with free energy? And yeah, look at that. That's something that's very exciting. So again, those are people who were trained not trained how to think, they just knew how to think. Okay, they thought for themselves. And that's what I want you to examine in this course. Okay, so, how does this affect you personally? What is so great about this course? And that's a good question. So, in this course, you're going to look at your journey through the wilderness. Okay, your wilderness in this case is your journey through life up to this point. Now, my assumption is that you've had some dreams, some goals, some desires, and you've had some good experiences. You've probably had some setbacks. You've probably had things that have not been so great. Maybe there's addictions in your life. Maybe you've got some addictive behaviors. Maybe you've got patterns of abuse that have developed because of, say, of abuse. Were you the abuser, or were you the victim of the abuse? Do you have issues with anger? Are you the one dishing out the anger, or are you the recipient of that anger? I've dealt with that personally. I've seen the results of that. Okay, so there's all these different types of things, negative things that happen in our life that affect who we are, who we think we are, and what our belief system is. See, our belief system is our little box that we live in. Okay, and they're all different. Okay, so we're not here to debate which box is right, which box is wrong. We're here to get outside of our box. How to look at the things in our past that have been good, and how to look at things that haven't been so good. How to accept the good and grow, and take the bad and set it aside and say, I'm no longer there. So what I'm really getting to is, who are you? Okay? Who are you? Who do you want to be? You know, maybe you're just looking for some peace and some joy and some happiness in this world. Or maybe you're actually looking for your identity. You know, who do you want to become? Now, I'm not talking about that childish, third grade question, what do you want to be when you grow up? That's not it. We're looking at a more grown-up, mature, who am I? What is your identity? How do you identify yourself? What's your purpose? Do we have a purpose on this earth? Where does your personal power come from? Your confidence, your self-esteem. Now that's what all those gurus out there are teaching, how to have that self-esteem. Well, I'm here to share with you that you are more than flesh and blood. You are more than how you identify yourself as self. See, if you do self-help can only go as much as the self. We're going to look at that in here as well. Now, by the end of this course, you're also going to be to learn that you were born for greatness. Now, maybe that's not how that secular world defines greatness. Are you an athlete? Are you an actress, actor, celebrity, politician? Are you on the news every day? Do people care that you have, 20 million Twitter followers, or that you have 100,000 likes on subscribers on Facebook or whatever? Are you more than that to more people in the world? Okay, so you really want to define who you are in a much greater way. not just in the way of celebrityism. Okay? Now, you may not recognize this yet, but by the end of this course, it'll be more clear who you are and who you were meant to be. Okay? So, we're going to accomplish this by first accepting the fact that it's okay not to be okay. So, relax. We're not going to explore your flaws and condemn you over every little thing that's happened wrong in your life. We all have them. Okay? So relax. And we're going to be taking a personal look. So you'll be doing this self-examination yourself. You're not going to have to relay this to me. Okay? There's nothing to divulge here. This is your own introspective look at yourself. Okay? So we're going to be able to find deeper meanings, flaws and all. Okay? Without defeating ourselves and without hating ourselves. We're not going to ignore our flaws, but we're not going to hate them either. We're going to get past them. We're going to go beyond them. Okay? Why? Because this is the battle that we all face. We all have adversity in our life. And there's a reason and there's a source of that adversity. Okay? And that's part of the things we're going to do in the battle that we all face. Okay? This battle, okay, once we recognize it, we can begin to overcome it. And we can begin to grow. So you see, this is not a simple little 3-step approach to this, or 5 steps to this, or 7 steps to whatever. This is a life change. Okay? There's no quick fix to this issue. It's stepping stones, day by day, week by week. Okay? It's a journey through the wilderness. Okay? So, like I said, we're going to learn how to choose the better and build upon that foundation. It's about making lifestyle changes. It's about making life steps and about baby steps. But you must be able to see your destination before you begin your journey. Okay? Otherwise, you're just going to be wandering through the wilderness. So unless I can show you that you were created for greatness and who you were meant to be, you're not going to understand where you're going. And that's the ultimate goal of this, is to share with you who you are and who you were meant to be. Not only in this world, but in another world. Because as I said, you're more than flesh and blood. That's right. We have a final destination outside this world. So, as you can clearly see, and especially with the background behind me, I'm going to be coming to you from a spiritual, biblical background. Not a religious background. There's a difference. Okay? Spiritual, biblical background. Not spirituality either. Okay? Different viewpoints. There's a secular viewpoint, there's a religious viewpoint, and there's a biblical, supernatural, biblical view. And then you've got the New Age, supernatural type view. Those will kind of overlap. So that's what I want you to recognize, that we're going to be looking at this, looking at yourself, your flaws, your frustrations, your attacks, these outside things that come against you, so that you can stand against them, knowing that you were created for greatness. So my goal is to help you find your way through this wilderness. So will you join me on this journey? Will you be willing to set aside various preconceived notions that may or may not be true, but they may be holding you back from discovering your better self, the better version of yourself? Are you willing to say, I'm wrong, or I've been misinformed? Well, man, I believe that, but in light of this evidence, I don't know. Okay? We can be manipulated. We're manipulated by advertising on a daily basis. Okay? What is truth? What is relative truth? What's absolute truth? If there is no absolute truth, then everything is relative. If it's just relative truth, there are no absolutes. How do you deal with that? Now, we won't necessarily get into that part in this course, we'll touch on a little bit by design, but not in specific. But that's a question we're going to ask ourselves. So, are you willing to do that? Okay, I know me personally, when I went through my journey, I had arguments with Scripture, I had arguments with God. I'm like, that's not what I believe. And he says, what? That's what I say right here. Here it is, black and white. So, are you willing to challenge that within yourself? Are you willing to challenge me and my truth? Are you willing to challenge everything I say and put it to the test? Okay, I'm not up for debate. It's not about debate. It's about discovering the truth. Will there be things we probably disagree on? Probably. Are we willing to say, you know, I don't know that yet, and walk on? Okay? It's okay. We don't have to agree on every topic, but the seeds of growth will be planted, and you will see things as you grow, as you go through your journey. That's what this whole thing is about. So with that, let me take you over to the website, and I just want to show you, this is where that video is going. This is the page that you're on. This is where you're watching. And you're going to examine this in about 8 lessons. About 2 hours, 45 minutes, not counting this introduction and the wrap-up at the end, because I'm going to add a wrap-up at the end there. And you're going to learn to relax and say, it's okay not to be okay. We're also going to look at peace, joy, happiness. Where does that come from? Okay, that's going to be in that first little introductory unit. The next unit will be about the battle that we all face. Okay, that's where we're going to look at the battle itself and peace, joy, and happiness. That's in Unit 2. Sorry about that. Unit 3, we're going to break it all down. We're going to look at 3 different models that show us how we are created. They show us the very layers of our being, to show us how we are fearfully and wonderfully made. That we're more than flesh and blood. And then I'm going to put together for you a wrap-up. We're going to tie it all together, and we're going to show you the different steps that you can take. Okay? There's no hype, there's no fluff, there's nothing like that in here. We're actually going to talk about how advertising leads you astray by saying, you know, do this now, or you know, do this. I'm here to present you with value, and so that you get the value of the teaching out of everything that you do, every course that I present to you, because there will be more courses. So here's this course breakdown. The introduction, Unit 2 is the battle we all face. Unit 3 goes into detail. That's where things are about the longest. Actually didn't add that up correctly. That's about, this one's only about 20 minutes. Okay, and then the wrap up. Now I'm going to give you a bonus. As you go through this course, here's what I want you to do. Write down questions. There's a couple of activities in here, so get a notebook. I also want you to keep like a journal, and then also ask questions. And then at the end, when you finish this and you go through the wrap-up session, you're going to be given information on how to redeem this 30-minute private consultation. Oops, that's consultation, not consultation. Like I said, I'm a real person, so enjoy being real. We're going to deal with that. But this consultation will help you get those questions answered. Remember I said I want you to put it to the test. Okay? So you'll be instructed on how to redeem that 30-minute private consultation so that we can get those questions answered and help you on to the next steps. Now, with that being said, through the wilderness, are you ready? Are you ready to begin or to start enjoying this journey? Find that joy, that peace, that happiness that only comes from one source. So, take the first steps toward becoming more confident and becoming a more compassionate person while creating a lifestyle filled with love, joy, and happiness. Okay, here's all you got to do. You're going to get unlimited access to all these 8 lessons. Plus, you're going to get downloads to all of my scripture notes. I'm going to make those available to you. I don't have them yet, but they will be there. And then you're going to get that bonus 30-minute private session valued at $50. Now, remember what I told you about the marketing plan? About how they use markdowns and excitement and everything to lull you in? There's an example of that right there. This course was $97. Now it's $27. Well, I'm going to follow my own words here. I'm going to get rid of this hype. Remember I told you about give a man a fish? You feed him for a day. You teach a man a fish to feed him for a lifetime. I'm going to stand on that promise. And because you've made it to the end of this introductory video, I'm going to give you a coupon code. And this is called Free for Me 21. Okay? Free, F-R-E-E, the number 4, me, M-E, and then 21. Okay? If you go down here to enroll today, put in your information, put in your credit card number and all that fun stuff, and then right here you put in the coupon code Free for Me, okay? Then you will be given this course absolutely free. Why? Because I want to give you a fish. Okay. And in that fish, if you can learn how to fish, I will have more courses available for you, probably around this $27 range. Okay. My goal is to present these to you in bite-sized pieces so that A, you get your value for your money, and B, they're cost effective, because I want you to be able to take this in baby steps. There aren't going to be any upsells in here where buy this $27 course and get this amazing $1,000 value package for $395. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to make you a set of mini courses, step by step, process by process. It's a daily journey, weekly journey, monthly journey that you can go to at your speed in bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to start by giving this to you free. Is that fair enough? If you enjoy this, yes, please support this ministry, this channel, by participating in these study courses at a very affordable price. Okay? I do not want money to stand in the way of you achieving and understanding who you are. But at the same time, I too have to support my family and do the best that I can for those I love. So, share the joy, share the fish. If you like this course and you would like to give this to somebody else, send them to this page, or let that be one of your questions. We'll talk more about that. So listen, I've rambled on here long enough, but I wanted to share with you that I am a real person and that I am here to help you. I'm here to serve you because I want you to understand that you are on a journey through the wilderness. And I want you to understand the pitfalls and the things that come against you out there that keep you from becoming who you're meant to be. And that you can actually get through this world, challenges and all, with a degree of joy, peace, and happiness. That's my prayer for you. That's what I want for you. And I hope that this is just the beginning of a relationship where you can learn to be all you're meant to be. So with that, thank you very much. This is Kevin Wilson with the Moriah Center, and this is your first course at the very beginning of understanding through the wilderness. Hope to see you soon.